Alright, we're getting into lighting. It's important to note, we've already done a ton of the work that goes into lighting, which means now we get to do the fun part of lighting, which is actually adding lights. Now's a good time to assess your own project and just note that the goal of this tutorial was not for you to just make one that looks exactly like mine. Copying is fine, it's good, but stealing is better, so I would invite you to steal and make it your own. And if yours looks exactly like mine, I would suggest that maybe you haven't gotten everything out of this tutorial that you could have. So maybe look at that. All that we've got left to do is lighting, animation, and camera work. And then after that, we just export. So here we go. Lighting. Okay, so our lighting pass is going to be pretty quick. I'm just going to show you some pointers here. We're going to turn our post-process volume saturate. We're desaturating it right now. I actually want to see color now. I want to see what this scene is doing. And the skylight, I'm going to turn to red because I want to see everything that the skylight is lighting up. And this point light that I just added, I'm going to turn that green because I want to see everything that that point light is doing. I'm going to turn the lighting on the point light to exposure value. I'm going to increase the exposure value and drag it up. I'm going to increase the attenuation radius. Now I can see everything that that light is doing. I can see that it's overpowering the other lights. I'm going to reduce that. Okay. Another thing that this light can do is we can soften the shadows that are underneath. You see they just got blurry. We can move that floor closer, about right there. We've made the colors of our lights so dramatic so that we can easily see their influence. So let's try this skylight. Let's bump up this skylight a little bit and just see what that does. Okay. And we're going to reduce this point light just a tad bit. And just so you're aware, I keep changing this up, but I made it so that instead of just a 1-0 value, this is what it looked like before. This is in Mandala glass. Instead of just having that 1, I plugged in another vector value so that we can decide what, because this is just white. That's what 1 is. It's just white. 0 is black. And if we just plug in that value, then we can pick what color glints across the surface. So I'm going to apply that. And yeah, that. Let's make it, yeah, that looks kind of cool. Gold. So yeah, that's pretty good. So we're getting some good color variation. Now we can make these a little less dramatic. So I kind of want this to be a soft, warm, like that. And I'm going to make the skylight a cool color. A nice, cool, okay on that. And then we're going to recapture just to make sure that we saved. Okay, so I kind of like where this is at. I just want to reduce this point light a little more because it's blowing out all the color on the actual centerpiece. Yeah, let's see if we need to reduce the skylight intensity to get that centerpiece. Okay, so I want to get it to the point where those colors they're coming out of the crystal. Yeah, that's where I want it. But the background is too dark. So we're going to go to the floor material and we're going to brighten that up. We're essentially just changing the color of the floor to be white. And because it is still not quite white enough, okay, we're going to push this up. And this is just kind of part of the course. Just adjusting lights until you get the effect you want. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to reduce this a little bit just till we start getting saturation again. And then I'm going to go to the skylight and increase it. Nope, that was too much. The skylights are just so finicky. You really have to recapture. Yeah, skylights are just very, very temperamental. You gotta work with them until you get them just right. Then this floor we're gonna reduce. And this is kind of just how it goes. Just reducing, just making that pop, getting that to sing. It's so close to something truly spectacular. So we're gonna keep darker perhaps on the floor, but perhaps, okay, so we're going to reduce. I'm adjusting the color of the glint. It's so close to something that I just don't want to let Okay, so here's where we're going to just try and force it through a color on the floor. I'm going to try and make it slightly warm. Yeah, yep. Increase that. Yeah, right about there. And let's see. So this point light, we've got that. Skylight. For the lighting portion, the main things are to make the light colors extreme so you can see their influence and adjust the intensities as you need to. And then when you get it to colors you actually like, just playing with the intensity of both the materials of your objects and the lighting until you get something that you like. Generally, it's a good rule of thumb to make sure that nothing is too blown out so you can see all of the details of your object. But other than that, it really is up to your eye to get the value levels correct and to make sure you can see all the parts that you want your viewer to see and that you want to have emphasized. So with that, we'll move on to animation.